Hi there, my name is Ryu. By now you've probably seen the open letter to the TTRPG community from GRTW. I am here to open and close and state one of the concerns and solutions to that concern in a verbal format. I and some other council members here will be doing that throughout this video. Let's get straight to it, shall we? To the TTRPG actual play community. It has come to our attention that a portion of the TTRPG actual play community has flagged some safety concerns about Girls Running World. To those who have come forward to talk with members of our leadership on your experience, we want to thank you for taking the time to share that concern with the individuals you spoke with. And more importantly, we want to apologize for the harm that we caused. We would like to address the issues that were raised that we are aware of and share what we have done and will continue to do to address them. When GRTW was founded in 2022, it was built on a series of very inflexible protocols. Of the 4 initial founding members of this channel, Ryu is the only one who is still in leadership. The last couple years has seen a lot of staff turnaround, and if you'd like to see our current leadership composition, please visit our staff page. It's going to be under girlswhenthesworld.com under the team tab. When new leadership was brought on in late 2022, we were told that these protocols and procedures were in place to respect the time commitments of our cast. But we have since recognized that in fact they were putting unnecessary and excessive stress on them. Here we will acknowledge our understanding of the issues and the harm they cause, and we will share steps we have taken or will be taking to rectify it. Concern number 1. Shows with a wider composition tended to get more and better promotion. There is very little here to elaborate on beyond the above sentence. While none of the current leadership was handling marketing and outreach at the time, during which this issue was noted, this does not excuse a failure on the part of those who were in leadership at the time to notice and rectify an imbalance in the advertising attention between our shows. Given our commitment to diverse casting, quite frankly, we should have been there and done better. Solution to concern number 1. All shows are 50% or more BIPOC and have a uniform promotion strategy. Our efforts in this came in 2 parts. The first is simple. There are no majority white casts on GRTW anymore. Every single table that we air is a minimum of half BIPOC. We see people defending majority white tables all the time, saying things like, but not enough BIPOC people applied to the casting call. The answer to this is simple. If there are not enough applicants to build a diverse table, one or both of 2 things happens. 1, the game is delayed or canceled. 2, we work with the GM to establish a list of BIPOC folks who might be interested in the story, who we can reach out to individually and invite to the table. GRTW has always had BIPOC members of leadership, but the composition of our council is now 6 out of 7 BIPOC, and quite literally every meeting that we have had since our newest members has included honest and explicit discussion about the ways in which we can best use our platform to uplift and center BIPOC voices. This is a pattern that we plan to continue as we look to the future of GRTW.
Concern 2. The timeline for each show was set in stone. If a week was missed for whatever reason, we did not allow for any extra weeks to be added onto the end. Because of this, the GM would have to put in extra work to condense the remaining story of the show into one less episode. If more than 1 week was missed, this would further amplify stress on the GM. If the time was missed due to illness or emergency, it placed stress and guilt on any who contributed to the decision to cancel a given episode. We had requests to extend runs multiple times from GMs who missed one or more episodes of their show due to weather, illness, or other unavoidable conflicts or issues that prevented airing. GRTW always declined these requests, citing respect of the cast's time commitment. This rigidity not only unfairly punished shows for having to skip episodes, but also did not give the casts a fair chance at the autonomy to make their own decisions regarding their own time. Solution 2. The timeline for each show is now more flexible and accessible, and accounts for missed time. When we schedule a show with a GM, we now schedule an extra buffer date for the week after the end of their planned run to account for one missed episode. That way, if an episode is missed, there is a contingency plan already in place to allow the show to make up the time. If more than one episode is missed, we will work with the GM on how to handle the timeline moving forward. If they choose to condense their story into fewer episodes, that works for us. If they would like to keep their full number of episodes, we will then loop in the cast to find a way to finish their story, whether it be by simply extending their run, or by scheduling times to record their final episode or episodes beyond the planned end date for later release. We hope that by providing more flexibility in scheduling and helping our casts to work out timeline issues, we will foster not only a better environment to tell stories, but also an accessible space where nobody is made to feel guilty for needing to pull out of a session for any reason, because it will not cut that show's run short.
Concern 3. A show was expected to end by exactly the 3-hour mark, not a minute later. Multiple members of GRTW leadership have heard from previous GMs who have run games with us about the times when they were running a few minutes over on their session in order to bring the session to a natural endpoint. During these times, members of leadership who were handling production were putting repeated and excessive pressure on them to make sure the session, including outros, was done by exactly the 3-hour mark. And if they went beyond that, they were repeatedly pinged in the show's Discord channel or even their DMs to wrap up quickly. The reasons for this, as with the previous point, were cited as respect for the cast time commitment. Once again, this was an unnecessarily rigid policy that only served to amplify the stress and anxiety of our GMs to the point where some did not feel safe in their own games when they had pressuring messages coming at them while they were trying to tell a story. Solution 3. We allow wiggle room for our table sessions to run over a little bit. To begin with, the individuals mentioned and the concerns that we heard are no longer involved with GRTW leadership. To address the root of the issue, going 30 minutes over multiple times could be poor planning or time management. Going 5 to 10 minutes over once in a while is simply the nature of how a TTRPG session played by human people works. We recognize this, and while we will give a reminder about 15 minutes before the halfway point and 15 minutes before the end point, we will never repeatedly message or ping a GM while they are in session to go to break or to wrap up. Any customized reminder plans, for example, if a GM does want multiple reminder pings or doesn't want any at all, will be negotiated with each GM to ensure they have a smooth experience that aligns with the way their brain handles their games. If a show goes over by a few minutes, we have always had a 30-minute cooldown period built into our cast time commitment. If they need to go a few minutes over, it's not the end of the world, and stars and wishes can always be done in writing. If a show repeatedly goes over by significant amounts of time, more than 15 or 20 minutes, we will work with the GM and the cast to either use their buffer date for an extra episode or to see if we can brainstorm other solutions together. The lesson we have learned here is simple. There is no one-size-fits-all for maintaining the time management of a game. Our goal is to make it as streamlined and accessible as possible for our cast. We are committed to improving communication and collaboration with our GMs and players to ensure that we both respect everyone's time and ensure they have the space and safety to tell their stories. Sincerely, ARC.
Concern number 4. There was a mandated monthly check-in, and if it was not completed on time, a show could not go on air. In the past, we used to have mandated monthly safety check-ins. We would send out a form for everyone actively involved in a current show to fill out, and if anyone on a cast did not complete the form within a week or so, they would not be allowed to air their show. While the intention behind this was good, the impact of it was not. Our casts are all 18 plus. They are fully grown adults who can and should be trusted to reach out with safety concerns when they need to. Mandating that everyone check in every month was infantilizing to our casts, and the threat of not allowing a show to air without the check-in was unnecessary and punitive. Solution number 4. We trust our cast members to bring up safety issues when they need to. Once again, our casts are adults. We no longer mandate monthly check-ins, and we offer our cast members multiple open avenues by which to contact GRTW leadership if an issue arises that they would like to address with us.
Concern 5. Some producers did not give their assigned shows their full attention. The producers mentioned are no longer involved with leadership, and much time has passed since this was an issue. But we will address it as best we can with the information our current staff has. As far as we understand, there were some shows that suffered in production quality due to the assigned producer multitasking while watching, or even not watching the content they were streaming at all. The impact of a producer not paying attention is clear. There is a risk to safety if an unexpected break is needed due to a safety emergency. If a cast goes to break early, they may be left sitting awkwardly in front of their cameras until the producer can be contacted. If audio, video, or captions go down, it may not be caught in a timely manner. All of this negatively impacts not only production quality, but the quality of the cast experience, leaving some of our cast feeling like a second thought. Our solution for 5. Our producers closely monitor video, audio, and private chats during the stream. We have done several things to tighten up production quality, including narrowing down our production duties to just GRTW leadership. But the important bit is that we make sure that we are available at our production computer while a stream is live. Of course, as a human, a producer may need to step away for a few minutes for a bio break, to let the dog out, or to handle an issue in the home. If that happens, they will communicate with the cast in their Discord channel to let them know how long they will be away for. Usually not more than a couple of minutes at a time. While they are away from the computer, they will usually have the stream open on their phone to keep an eye out for any issues or cues.
To continue that and close it out, to those we have harmed, we offer our apologies. We are sorry. We cannot undo the hurt we have caused, but we can change our behavior and endeavor to do right by this community moving forward. If you would like to read more about the values we have committed ourselves to, you can read our values page on our website, girlswhenthesworlds.com. Look for the values page, which will be a part of our upcoming rebranding project to move away from GRTW branding and into a new chapter. If you have concerns that are not addressed here or in our values, we invite you to reach out to a council member under the Teams tab. To all who have taken the time to share their concerns with us already, thank you for your openness and honesty. We hope to be able to show this community that our actions align with our values and to champion a safe, accessible community as we move into the future. Sincerely, Angela, Ark, Arnica, Jen, Ryu, Taylor, Torin. Thank you for taking the time to watch this video. Thank you for taking the time to read the open letter. And we invite y'all to give us some time and come roll with us eventually. Okay? Bye.